So, you know last week how I said we were never ever going to be taking the Nova body off again? Oops.
11 months ago, I bought my dream car, or at least what was left of it. This is a Nova, a bizarre 80s concept that was left abandoned for decades. Over the months, we've completely rebuilt it. New metal, new parts everywhere, and even a turbocharged Alfa Romeo race engine. Things are finally coming together, but there's still quite a way to go. But in the end, it will all be worth it. So, let's do this.
Okay, so why are we taking the body off yet again? And I do actually think this will be the very last time. I know I said that before, but we're taking the body off for 4 reasons, I think. Reason number 1, I did indeed forget to put the rubber seal on last week, which goes between the Nova body and the chassis. A lot of you pointed that out. So we need to put that on. But reason number 2 is the Nova body is also catching on the chassis. So we need to do a little bit of trimming so it sits completely flush. But another reason which came to mind is access. And now someone also commented about putting the Nova chassis on a dolly so we could move it around a little bit easier, because obviously we don't have the air suspension hooked up. But that will also allow us to fit the undertray on much easier, which basically stops the nose from drooping. So those are the reasons: body seal, trimming the body, the ability to maneuver the car and put the undertray on. So let me show you exactly what I mean with those various areas. So obviously this now is incredibly dirty again, even though we cleaned it 2 weeks ago, because when you remove the body, loads of fiberglass goes all over it. But essentially the body seal runs between the Nova body and runs along this sort of gusset area and stops moisture getting in, stops vibrations, all of that. But even more important than that is the issue where it's rubbing on the body. Now this corner is rubbing quite dramatically, and let me show you on the Nova body exactly what is happening. So if you come over here, you'll see there's these areas that essentially hook underneath the Beetle chassis. Now what is happening is they're getting pinched and they're not going underneath, and then it's very much impossible to hook them under. So what we're going to do is we're going to trim those off so it allows the body just to sit flush on the chassis. Now, the undertray. The undertray is essentially a section we cut off when we were removing the Nova body that runs underneath the tub and then connects to the chassis. So the chassis is sort of hugged by the Nova body, but it's very important because it doesn't just stop stuff from, hitting the front end, but it keeps this nose taut, which is very, very loose. You can literally, as you can see, I'm maneuvering it right now. And when Novas don't have that, the noses droop. So you have what's called a droop snoot Nova, which is not a very good look. It also means you get loads of cracking, which is where a lot of this cracking has happened already. But also just by having the body on a dolly, or the chassis and body soon on a dolly, it means we can move it around. We'll have much better access for sanding, which is another thing we're going to be doing today. So we're going to deal with all this chassis and body stuff. We're going to get them back together, actually for the last time, and then we're going to start body working, putting all our parts on, and then we should have a sanded Nova ready for all sorts of other things. Very quickly, I just want to take 30 seconds out and talk to you about this. This is the Red Tiger F17 Elite dash cam. Now, as some of you may know, I had a pretty nasty accident a few weeks ago, and well, this came in very, very handy. Possibly my favourite feature is how it performs at night, but also the 3-camera setup, so you can see what's going on in front of you, what's going on in the cabin, and of course what is going on behind you. And another great attribute is the Red Tiger app, which allows you to scroll through your footage, select footage, and using the camera's inbuilt Wi-Fi, download your footage to your phone in seconds. A dash cam is a fantastic tool for all motorists. Right now you can get a special discount using my code. They've got massive Prime Day sales, so do check out Red Tiger, the F17 Elite. I've also linked it down below in the description.
So, first things first, the body seal. And when you're not sure how to do something, YouTube it.
Okay, it's just gonna lay down like this. See?
Ours isn't even like that.
So just get yourself some scissors or whatnot and line up.
So this is our body seal, which runs along the edges. What we're going to do is cut it into sections. So we'll have a section running along here, we'll have a section running along here, then one that goes over here, and then usually you'd go behind because that's where the Beetle body sits, but our Nova body sits here, so we're going to run a section there. And then using some sort of bond, we are going to bond it on, make our holes, and then we should have a pretty good seal. Cool.
Cool.
Which way do you reckon it goes on? You've got this ribbed section, and then non-ribbed.
Ribbed on the outside. No.
It is ribbed on the outside.
Yeah, I told you. It's always ribbed on the outside.
With the scissors MIA, we got to trimming this thing up.
So that goes.
That stops right there. Don't know how it's longer now, but
Yeah. Just sort of go across there. Then to secure it down, we're just using this PU seal and bond, which, well, will act as a good seal of any sort of breaks or the connection points, but also it will hold the rubber to the body. So we're just going to put a little bit of this on, or quite a lot of this on, I reckon, because the more the merrier. Run it down and then stick the old rubber on. If I can do it. Cool. So just hit. Push out a little bit.
yeah, I think it might.
Start bowing a bit. That's fine.
That'll do.
Yeah, it'll do. Right, now just quite a lot more.
And just like that, our rubber seal was on. Now we had to trim it and fit it slightly differently to how you would on an original Beetle, as obviously where the Nova sits is quite different, but this should do the job fine.
That did go fine. I mean, nobody's ever going to see it. I just wanted to make sure there's a good seal all the way around.
So no water ingress.
So there was, maybe we used a little bit much, but doesn't matter, does it? More the fucking merrier. But now we got that on.
Yeah.
We'll let that dry for a bit, and whilst we're letting it dry, we'll start trimming the body, and we're basically ready to put the old girl back together.
Yippee.
So now I can confidently say this chassis is done. I know I've said that before, but this really is it. So putting the body on, well, let me show you exactly what was going wrong.
Trimming the body because all of it lips round, but there's this portion here which will not lip round. So we're just going to cut it off. It's not where it mounts or anything. We'll see it mounts in the holes which we need to drill in those rubbers. But there's this sort of section which originally would have gone under. We'd done some trimming on it already, so it makes it a lot easier to pull the body off and on without damaging the body. But there's this bit which hooks underneath, which when we put the body on, it won't actually, there's almost no place to leverage it under. So we're just going to remove it so the body sits completely flush. and then we're basically there.
This is the exact area in question. Now the fiberglass is a bit damaged there as well, which is why it's not hooking under properly. It's bending as opposed to hooking round, so it's easier just to get rid of it. And as mentioned, this isn't a mounting point, this is just a lip, so this won't make any difference to the structure.
Pretty sure that's what you wanted. There you go. Let's go do this same the other side. Oh, hello.
Nice, perfect.
It's off. Oh, bloody hell.
Now the body has had a little haircut, we should be able to place it back on the chassis without any issues.
So now we're going to put the body back on. Now this masticky or the seal stuff hasn't fully cured. It's pretty good, but I think it's best just put it on now. It doesn't matter about the holes because we can drill through with the body on because we know we've already got holes in the body. We know we can easily access the holes underneath. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to lift the bad boy back on, and hopefully as well it'll push all of this rubber into place and settle it a bit nicer. It's not wet enough so like you can move the rubber, so it won't move it out of place and all that sort of thing. This is actually putting the body on for the last time, I think.
Can't move anymore. Yeah, the
Steering box.
After doing a final check, ensuring we weren't resting on anything we shouldn't be, it is now time to lip the fiberglass around the floor pan.
So that side sealed nicely, but this one slipped a bit. I mean, it's still making a seal. It's just not as good of a seal. Oh, fuck. Right, that's done. Well, that side, I haven't checked that side properly, but we are completely lipped under. I will check this side in a minute, but I think I need a mental health break. Oh, fuck.
Why is that?
Because cars are a fucking pain in the ass.
Amen to that.
Amen.
We were basically there. I was still having a little bit of issues with that corner that we trimmed, so I was just making some final adjustments, and then the body was properly on. And whilst I was doing that, Joe went around and removed a lot of the 3D scanning dots ready for sanding. And just like that, the body was properly on. I know I said that last time, but this is actually it.
Okay, so the body is on. I'm not crying, and it's not that emotional. I've just got some fiberglass in my eye, which is excellent. But yes, it's on. It was a bit of a faff as always. Even though we did that clearancing, it still needed a little bit more, and you still have to sort of hook the sills underneath the Beetle sort of lip. But we've got it all in. One slight bit of rubber on this corner, which is where the problem area was, slipped down, but we've been able to push that back into place. So now everything is sitting where it needs to. All of that masticky stuff will set, and it's where it needs to be. Joe also went around removing all of the dots ready for sanding, which we'll get to shortly. But the next thing we really need to do is attach the undertray. Now, as I mentioned, the undertray is an important part of this car's structure. If you sort of look, if I go around the front, it would run underneath, but without it, this nose, it's sketchy as anything. So I'm going to support that now. But the undertray, basically, if you come down here, you can see where we trimmed it off down here, and it goes further back and just supports it exactly where it needs to be, and it bolts into the chassis. So that's what we're going to put on next, because before we start doing any body work and all that fun, we want this to be in its final resting place. We'll also bolt the car together, or the chassis and the body, and then we get sanding. Okay, so it's the next morning, but we've run into a slight issue, and that is if you come down here. You can see, obviously, where I've cut that, it then attaches to here, which is the nose of the Nova. Now, it would run back, and then it would bolt into the floor pan. But the issue is we've obviously got this chassis brace in the middle, which won't allow us to use the central section. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to cut this into 3 pieces, ignore the center, and then have this have a piece each side essentially. So the under tray will still be there, it just won't have the center section, but it will still have the main mounting points and support the nose. We can always add more strength if we need to, but again, this is going to be a detachable piece, whereas obviously originally it wasn't. You had to sort of do all sort of maneuvering. So we're going to cut this, attach it, and then we should have a solid nose, and we can start sanding this thing back.
And with the under tray cut, it is time to test fit our side sections.
So basically, obviously this was a single piece at the front, so we need to reattach it, which we will do with fiberglass, but initially I'm just going to add some strength by putting some of these in once we've cleaned it up. So the under tray section is connected to the front nose, and then obviously the back section of the under tray will drill through the chassis and make a hole and bolt it through. But we need to connect the front, so I'm going to connect it, and then we can do that on both sides. Tilt the nose and decide what our desired nose tilt is, and bolt it through the chassis. My aim is perfect. It just went straight through the metal plate. Didn't even aim. So obviously it doesn't matter right now because it's not fixed. So now we need a bolt. Joe, can you tighten that up? I need some sleep.
The driver's side was now secured to the front nose, So now it is time to go to the passenger side. Then once we've done that, we can connect these two sections to the floor pan itself. The undertray was now connected, so we now had the important job of deciding the exact tilt on the nose.
Still know how high it should be. I think it's a preference thing to a degree.
Don't have too high, you take off.
Yeah.
You end up like that Mercedes at Le Mans. Not good. No, that would not be ideal.
About there?
We decided to get the nose as high as possible without causing any obvious force in the wrong direction on the fiberglass. So we just wanted to jack it up, set it, and then we could drill our holes through the chassis and through the undertray, connecting it all into one single piece. Now, as we largely had a new chassis, as we had to cut out all the rust and replace it with new metal, we didn't have mounting holes on the chassis for the undertray. So we needed to reference my old video where we had the rusty chassis and see where that mounting point was.
Got to try to pick out one thing in the photo and you can't.
And after making a relatively uneducated guess, it was time to drill.
To stop any vibrations. Oh fuck, that's hot. It's hot.
The undertray was now fully mounted to the floor pan, securing our front nose in position, hopefully. So let's lower this down and check.
Didn't move at all.
That didn't do it.
That's what we like.
Mission success. We no longer had a droopy nose.
A lot more rigid. Nice. Okay, so the undertray is fitted. As you just saw, it didn't droop at all, which is good. We fitted it, and the back section is properly bolted on. And as you saw, if you come around here, we did put these pieces in. Let me just remove that, that's not needed. We did put the metal pieces in, but we are going to have to reinforce across here, fiberglass it into one piece again, but that's fine. For now, it's not going to move, which is all that's important. So the next job is to pull this outside and start sanding. Once we've had a good sand at just sort of 400 grit, leveled it, we'll go round marking all of the areas that need bodywork, and then we can crack on with that. Did you know that every single vehicle carries a score out of 999? Well, if you didn't, I've got the perfect app for you. It is called Vehicle Score. This is one of the most complete ways of understanding the history of your car. And for free, you can get the score out of 999 right now. The higher the score, the better the car. The lower the score, the worse the car. It will give you all the hidden intel about your car, whether it's been stolen, whether it's been financed, whether it's been written off, everything you need to know before you buy or just to learn more about your existing vehicle. Now, sometimes the poor history of a vehicle can be obvious, like my Range Rover that I have sadly written off. But in other cases, a car which can look shiny, not that these are looking very shiny right now, can hide a lot of secrets that to the naked eye you would just never know. So give yourself true peace of mind and go and check out Vehicle Score. I've linked them down below where you can get your free check on your vehicle that you're looking to buy or one of your cars you already own. It's the best way to get the full detail and know everything you need to know. So do check them out, link down below.
It was now sanding time. Now, as you may recall, the whole car has been put in a sealer. Now, the sealer is very thick and we sprayed it on and it's doing exactly what it needs to do, seal the car, but we've done no bodywork, no sanding. So first things first, we're diving in with 400 grit and going to try and flatten this all back. And then once we've done that, we can get a clearer idea on the actual state of the body. And as you can even see through the sealer, there are so many imperfections, but even more will show themselves once we've flattened this back. So let's get sanding. Now, as you can see, we've burnt through the sealer in a lot of areas back to the gel coat. Now, this isn't a problem. The next stage will be priming this up with some high build primer, but it just goes to show how uneven the surface was. But now it is looking a lot more flat, but still there is so much more work to do. I continued sanding for many hours, trying to get each part of the car as uniform as I possibly could. And with every pass, more and more body imperfections were showing up. Pinholes, divots, all sorts of things. It was just crazy.
Okay, so I've gone around the car, well, Joe and I went around the car in 400 grit, and as you can see, it looks quite different. Still a lot more sanding needed. A lot of the edges, hard to reach areas aren't done yet, but we'll get to that. The thing I want to do next is I want to go around the car and mark out all the imperfections, things that need bodywork, and it is an unbelievable amount, which is quite annoying, but that's fiberglass cars. So we're going to go around, mark it all out. When we do bodywork, obviously 400 grit isn't a great sort of mechanical bond for filler and all that sort of thing, so we'll have to scuff up those areas more, but I just want to mark it out so then we can methodically go around, scuff it up a bit more, fill, fiberglass, all that sort of thing. So where to start? Because if I actually just start marking each piece out, the whole car is going to be covered. But that's what we're going to do, I think. Basically the whole car. Like there's so many tiny imperfections everywhere. I've sort of just gone around marking the main areas, but there's almost part of me that thinks the whole thing just needs a skim over just every single panel. Because, yeah, if you look at this back section, for example, it's basically all of it. Yes, there's a few areas which are fine, but would it be easier just to skim the whole thing? Literally every single panel. I'd say this is the biggest portion that doesn't have imperfections, but then at the same time, it's got the body line there has been flattened. Oh, there is an imperfection there as well, actually. So yeah, I think the whole body is going to need to be skimmed because there's just no point doing all these spot areas. Oh, this is going to be a lot of work, like a huge amount of work, but it's got to be done.
There was still a huge amount of work to go. The Nova really is the gift that just keeps on giving. But we are getting there. Today has been a very productive day. The body is properly on. The undertray and the nose are mounted. It is now a fully fixed piece. Obviously, we've got to run a few bolts in the cabin area, securing the Nova body to the floor pan in other areas, but we have got that all ready to go. But really the thing which is ahead of us now is a huge amount of bodywork, getting this thing as straight as we possibly can. Now, if you've done bodywork before, you'll know just how much work this is. Even a small amount of bodywork takes way more time than you expect it to. And really, almost every inch of this car needs something. So this is going to be a long road ahead, but of course it will be worth it.
Okay, so there we go. The Nova is coming along, but just a huge amount of bodywork ahead, which is kind of annoying because obviously we're also bodyworking the 911 at the moment. So I'm very sick of sanding, I'm very sick of filler, but it all has to be done. But the Nova is coming together. Once we've done that, it's wiring time. The engine can go back in, all that sort of thing. Well, not in that order particularly, but we're getting there. The 911 is also getting there much quicker, which is why obviously we've entered these two sanding bodywork points at the same time. But yeah, safe to say I will be completely sick of bodywork and sanding for quite a few months. But if you enjoyed this episode, and even if you didn't, please do consider liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, hitting the hype button, all of that fun. It really does help me out. Allows me to keep making episodes on all of these silly, oddball cars. And if you'd like to support the channel further, I've linked my Patreon down below. Over on the Patreon, we have behind the scenes, early access, day-to-day updates on these builds, what's going on in the shed. It's a great way to get the inside scoop. Another great way to support the channel is merchandise. Again, I've linked it down below. Any money made just goes on keeping the lights on, buying parts for these oddities, and just keeping this channel moving. But regardless, I'm just so grateful that you guys are all here, tuning in every week. So until next week, take care, and I will see you then.